Romans 8 verse 28 is one of the most quoted verses in the Bible, and also one of the most misunderstood, and when you hear it wrong, it can actually make your faith harder, not easier. Romans 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Here is the first thing people get wrong. This verse does not say that everything that happens to you is good. It does not say God caused your pain, or that your loss was part of a neat plan you just cannot see yet. What it says is that God works through everything, the losses, the failures, the things that felt like they destroyed you, towards something good. That is a very different statement. One asks you to feel okay about your suffering. The other simply promises that your suffering is not the end of the story. Paul wrote this letter to a group of people in Rome who were facing real, grinding suffering, not inconvenience, not disappointment, but the kind of hardship that makes people question everything. And into that specific context, he makes this specific claim. Not a vague encouragement. A declaration. We know, he says. Not we hope, not we suspect, we know. There is a certainty here that is rooted not in circumstances but in the character of God. So when he says all things, he means all things. Think about what that includes. The betrayal that changed you. The diagnosis that rearranged your life. The relationship that ended and left you different. The door that closed and seemed to take a piece of your future with it. The version of your life you had planned that simply did not happen. None of it is outside of God's reach. Not one moment. Not one loss. Not one thing you are most tempted to believe was just a waste. Here's what makes this so hard to receive, especially in the culture we live in today. We are wired for immediate results. We want the redemption arc to be visible, trackable, and quick. When something painful happens, we want to see the purpose within the week. And when we cannot, we start to wonder whether the promise was real. But Paul is not describing a vending machine. He is describing a God who works across whole lifetimes, across generations, across histories, and who does not owe us a preview of the ending while we are still in the middle chapter. Think about Joseph in the Old Testament. Sold into slavery by his own brothers. Falsely accused. Imprisoned for years. At every point along the way, if you had frozen the frame, it would have looked like waste. It would have looked like abandonment. It was only from the other side of the story that the working together made sense. And even then, the years of suffering were not erased. They were transformed. For us today, that is the invitation this verse extends. Not to feel fine about what hurt you. Not to perform gratitude for things that were genuinely hard. But to refuse to let those things have the final word. Whatever you are carrying right now, God is not absent from it. He is not watching from a distance. He is working inside of it, even when you cannot feel the movement. The takeaway is this: nothing in your life is wasted, not even the parts you would never have chosen, and not even the parts you have not yet seen redeemed.